What's going on, guys? Prostin Talk here, back again, and I am here with my WrestleMania review series, and I'm reviewing WrestleMania 17, my favorite WrestleMania of all time, the greatest WrestleMania of all time, in my opinion. I just think it's one of the best WrestleManias, period. How the storyline was, all of the WrestleMania matches meant something, at least. Something on the card meant something. They didn't just throw it all together, it all meant something. Okay, you could maybe say for the Gimmick Battle Royal. Nobody, it wasn't, it was kind of like a nostalgia thing for that, but, and the Austin heel turn, I'll talk about that later on, but this was a really good card. It was booked properly. It was, the card structure was really well done. And when people say what was your favorite WrestleMania, I always say it's WrestleMania 17 because of the stories and how they were booked. And really, to be honest, it was a sad time because this was the last Attitude Era WrestleMania pay-per-view that we ever had. So the end of the Attitude Era, in my opinion, after WrestleMania 17 was the kind of the end of the Attitude Era. But yeah, let's get into WrestleMania 17. So we had a good opening match for WrestleMania 17. We had Chris Jericho defending his IC title against William Regal. Thought these guys had really good chemistry. You had Jericho do some line salts, and Regal he was doing some bits. Jericho wins. I thought it was a good way to win WrestleMania. Um, you know, the crowd were into this, and I thought it was a really good way to, like I said, open up WrestleMania. Then we get to the six-man tag match. It was Taz and the APA versus Right to Censor. You know, it was a squash match. Basically, Taz and APA make Right to Censor their bitches. Moving on to the next match, Kane. It was for the Hardcore Championship. It was Raven defending his Hardcore title in a triple threat match against Big Show and Kane. I actually really love this match. One part of the match where Raven is driving like a forklift or whatever it is, and he almost kills the entire show. Like the plug was almost like there, and he almost killed it. Um, and then the whole show they were plugged out. Then Kane puts Raven through a window. Then he's driving the referee, and then I think Big Show chokeslams Raven, and then Kane chokeslams the Big Show, and then the rest count on the glass. 1, 2, 3, and then Kane's the new Hardcore Champion. Then we get the European Championship match. I thought this was another good match. Eddie Guerrero versus Taz, two guys that I really, I was a big fan of back in the day. I'm a big fan of Eddie. I also thought that Test was always an underrated talent, in my opinion. I also thought that Test could have done a lot more in the WWF, especially with his feud with Triple H. You know, after that, I never thought that he was the same. He was always the mid card guy or the guy that could put somebody else over. And in my opinion, he had the look and he had the charisma to actually make himself a good world champion. In my opinion, especially he could have been in the Russo Gushers. Maybe not in the Attitude Era because Austin and Brock were taking the main spots, but especially back then, they could have gave Tess a good shot in the Russo Gushers era. But they had a good match. Eddie retains his title, so that was good. And Dean Malenko, he interfered in the match, so yeah. Then we had Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. I thought this was a really good Chris match. Two guys had a kick-ass match. And this funny enough about this match is that this match was only done 6 days before WrestleMania. So they just put this together 6 days, and it was still good. And the story behind it was who's the better technical wrestler? Is it Benoit or is it Kurt Angle? And this match was fucking awesome. Like you had submissions, it was chain wrestling at the start, then submissions. Basically Angle gets the win, but after that, then after that we have Benoit choke out Kurt Angle after the match. Then we have after that we have China versus Ivory for the Women's Championship. China is a challenger. This was a squash match. China gets the win. This was her last WrestleMania as well. Then we get Shane and Vince McMahon in a street fight. I love this feud, Vince versus Shane. This was when the whole iconic "I now own WCW," and then Shane would come out, and then Shane would say that, and then Vince is like, I just love that. They had, and then obviously this time when Linda McMahon was drugged and stuff, and the time they had Trish bark like a dog. And man, the Attitude Era was wacky back then. So yeah, they had a good spot. Shane McMahon also almost killed himself. Well, it wouldn't be Shane McMahon match if he didn't almost kill himself. You know, he goes through the table because Vince moved out of the way, and then Mick Foley's a special guest referee, but Vince attacks him because he was protecting Linda because Vince wanted to attack Linda, and basically Vince is beating up on Shane at the end of the match. He's hitting him with trash cans, and then Linda gets up, low balls Vince. Trish slapped him before that and hit her and Stephanie were brawling backstage. Then after that, Shane gets 2 trash cans and he does the coast to coast and then gets the win. So yeah, the thing is, I've talked about the invasion angle before, but they could have done that so much better. And just the money that they wasted, especially with the 2 things that they did really wrong in 01. The invasion angle, they wasted a lot of money. They had a lot of money and potential to do that invasion angle right if they waited a year to get everybody's contracts. And the Austin heel turn, which I'm going to talk about actually pretty soon. Then we had the TLC match for the WWF Tag Team titles. It was Edge and Christian versus Dudley Boyz and Jeff Hardy. Dudley Boyz were the champions, like it was a previous WrestleMania. This match was fucking awesome. You had table spots, chair spots. Obviously, you had Rhino came in, Spike came in. Fucking everybody had it. The timing was perfect in this match. It was an awesome ass match. Really enjoyed it. And Edge and Christian get the win. Then we have the Gimmick Battle Royal. So we have the Gobbledygooker. Who is it? It's the Gobbledygooker. He's come out in an egg, but he's back. And then we had, it was nice to see Bobby Heenan come back to WrestleMania. So that was cool. And we had, you know, like Hillbilly Jim King was there, and Iron Sheik, and Earthquake and Tugboat, and stuff like that. And the one who won the Battle Royal was Iron Sheik. Then we had The Undertaker versus Triple H. This was a really good match. You had them brawling outside. You had them. I had a good story going into it as well, where, you know, Triple H said he's undefeated. He's beaten everybody's heroes, and the one person he hasn't defeated yet is Taker. So this was one of the first matches they had at WrestleMania. So the other 2 they would have, you know, would be many years later. But this was the very first match they ever had at WrestleMania, and a real good match. Taker wins with the Tombstone and the last ride for the win. Then we get Stone Cold vs. The Rock. No disqualification match for the WWF Championship. The story behind this is where Vince says that Austin's wife Deborah is going to now manage The Rock. The Rock. And then he gets pissed about it. So and then obviously Austin's like, stay away from my wife, and he's stunnering The Rock, and then he's trying to get one over The Rock, and Austin is so desperate to become WWF champion again after his injury in 2000. He wants to become WWF champion one more time. And, you know, they have a really good match. I thought the match was really good. Anytime Austin and Rock had a good match. Anytime Austin and Rock was in the ring, they had a really good match, in my opinion. Austin gets the win because basically Vince comes down and he's basically hands in the chair and he's beating him down, and he's busted open. JR's going fucking nuts. He uses a stunner, and Stone Cold is your new WWF champion. After the match, JR's like, why, Steve, why? And a lot of people are like, why? Why would you turn Stone Cold Steve Austin heel? I understand his reason why he wanted to do it and why he felt he had to change his character, but why, Steve? Like, how could you? It was impossible to boo Stone Cold Steve Austin because he's done so many anti-authority things, and you wanted to go and be a heel when he was an anti-authority and that was working well. I mean, look how much money the WWF lost in money because he turned heel. It lost a lot of money. And what did it lead to? The invasion angle was built around Rock versus Austin. So overall, this invasion angle was basically Vince giving one up on the fucking WCW. Because the WCW guys were fucking just Mitch Carter and Booker T and DDP. So basically, 2001, the middle of the summer of 2001 and the end of 2001, fucking was bad business for WWF. I'm telling you right now, they did some bad decisions. Invasion angle and this Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn was the worst thing that Vince has done. Like, just think about it. If you didn't turn Austin heel and you did Invasion angle properly, look how much money this company would make, and the XFL would actually abort the first time. Just think how much money the WWF would have made, and maybe, you know, you could still have a better product, but there's that. But anyway, that's my WrestleMania 17 review, guys. What do you guys think of the WrestleMania overall? I thought it was an awesome show. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll check you out later.